Here we are, X-Plane 11 in VR. We're going to take the iPad, put it over here, show map. Not the greatest map in the world, but I use this quite a bit. This is one thing I think needs to be improved on here, but that's another topic. We're now going to take and with our controller, we're going to go to Menu, Plugins. We're going to open Move VR, which is a free plugin from X-Plane. Manage Windows. And YawCam Preview. YawCam is a free software I downloaded. No adware or anything. I've been using it for about 3 years with no problems. We're going to pick Best Quality. We're going to pick Move to VR. I'm going to drag this over here for a minute. We're going to close this. We're going to take this and grab it by the corner. And make it a little bit bigger. Reposition it over there. I have a cheap $15 webcam over here because that's all you're going to get with the Oculus CV1. Better camera doesn't come out any better, so it doesn't really matter. Go down here. You can see, I can see my real hand in real life. Go to altitude. 4,000 is fine. Vertical speed. Got to be careful with this because sometimes this. I set that to 700. Over here, we need to make sure and put this on GPS. You hit that one Oculus button and zoom in. You can see GPS. Right? We're going to click that once. Open the camera. Go to monitor. Let's do it again. Hit that once. Go to monitor 1. Now we can see this full size. I'm going to open up flight plan. I'm going to delete all this stuff. I'm going to take my button box, my Derek Spear button box. I have a Black Max 2. I'm going to turn my encoder knob, boom, down. Then the second knob, it's going to turn these, and go back to the other knob and move it to the right. Do another video at some point on exactly what you need to set these two, because it's kind of hard to find it when you want to program your box. What they're called is kind of hard to find, but once you do it, it's really easy. And hit enter. And now, just with my real hand on a real button, I set. I meant to change that to. Something like Denver. Doesn't matter. I'm not going to do the whole flight. Enter. Now you can see. There's your regular screen. There's your. Let's go down here. Because I put that before, instead of overwriting it, it just went underneath it. Clear. Enter. There we go. You can close that. Go out of that. Dropped my Oculus controller. All right. Again, I got a whole new simulator here. I used to have something to set that on for. Right now I have a little table sitting there. All right, we're going to go full throttle. Did I release the brake? Release the brake. All right, so we got some options here. My pedals aren't mounted yet. They're real close to me, so they're kind of hard to use. Rotating. New computer. New simulator rig in a new room. So I got to redo everything. Landing gear up. Flaps up. Now I got some options here. I can use these buttons, or I can use Plane Commander. Let's try autopilot on.
Autopilot off.
Autopilot on.
Autopilot on.
LNAV on.
LNAV on.
Altitude 4,500.
Altitude FO WER to sand 500 feet.
Alright, so Plane Commander, Move VR free. Got my SciTech gauges, which I just bought those right before VR came out. And then I wasn't really using them until this Move VR was released. I was like, oh cool, and just cheap little webcam, and I can just bring those right in the cockpit. You're trying to fly in VR, to me, as soon as you lift that headset up to look at something or to do something, you failed. So I got my map over here, and you got with your adjust this headset. My hair's caught in it. You can zoom in with the zoom button on the controller. Look at that. I think I used to have one on the yoke too, but I haven't programmed it yet. I would do the same thing. I could zoom in with one button on the yoke. You can see that stuff pretty good. You can't read the letters on the knobs, but you can clearly see the. So let's test this COM. Set COM1 135.50.
COM1 set to 135.5.
That's cool. You can also program those to the knobs on the Derek Spear box or whatever box you might have. But I haven't programmed them yet for the radio because I don't really use the ATC and the radios that much. But easy enough to use with Plane Commander. Now, Microsoft Flight Simulator, you may want to take that button box and tune those in. Now, the button box, I don't have a camera on it. I just reach over here and feel my way around the buttons and turn them on. So that's the way I fly in VR, but I still see my real gauges, my real hand, my real buttons. I'm actually, instead of using this thing and trying to turn knobs, it's really hard to turn knobs with this. I just hate it. Instead of turning knobs with this thing or the mouse, the VR mouse in X-Plane 11 is terrible. The mouse in Microsoft Flight Simulator is better. A lot better, I should say. I hate the mouse in this X-Plane, but anyway, we got the Move VR is free. Got the Yaw Cam. There's the name right there, Yaw Cam, free. $15 webcam. There it is. Flying in VR and seeing my real hardware. You could point that camera at whatever you wanted. I even tested it the other day. I actually mounted it to the Rift, but I didn't really like that. So it's a little bit more. Two things. It is more immersion because you're really using your hands and knobs and everything. But also it keeps me from having to flip the headset up, because if I have to flip the headset up to look at something, I then have to put my glasses back on. I've tried using my glasses in the Rift. I don't really need them in the Rift, but once I pull it off, I can't see all this stuff. So I'm okay in the Rift with no glasses. I can see all my instruments. But if I take my headset off, got to put the glasses back on. That's just a pain in the ass. I kind of like the Microsoft thing though, where you can program one button, takes you in and out of VR really quickly without any confirmation or anything. So you just hit the button, go to 2D, take the headset off, take a break, fly in 2D for a minute, put the headset back on, hit the button, and you're good to go again. I do like that about Microsoft Flight Simulator. But flying in VR, real gauges, don't get rid of your X-Plane just because Microsoft Flight Simulator is out, and don't think that you can't use a Microsoft Flight Simulator with an Oculus Rift. I do. It works great. Obviously, you can't experience the graphics like you can with the HP Gear 2 or anything like that, but it's still better than what we've been using for 3 years here. So I would not get rid of your Oculus Rift thinking that it's not good enough to use in Microsoft Flight Simulator, because it is still nice. That's all I have to say about that. I kind of refer to this as augmented reality, but it's really the opposite. Augmented reality, you have what you have in real life, and then you add some stuff to it. This is the other way around. We're looking at this whole virtual view and putting a little bit of real life in one area there. Uh, I really think it's cool. I'm surprised more people don't do it. I've brought it up in a couple forums, and somebody that I follow on there, it's like, oh well, no, I don't use the gauges because I fly in VR. Well, yeah, you fumble around with that stupid controller trying to turn knobs. Hitting buttons is no problem, but when you want to turn knobs and set those flight plans all on a knob, or the radio on a knob, the navs on the knob, that's just terrible. It's really bad. That's the way to go. Get yourself a button box, program those encoders, and get it on a video, and you can see what you're doing. All right, later.